All right. All right, my brother.
Yeah, baby. We're live. I'm here with the famous Matthew Murdock. Hey!
All right. Hey, buddy.
So happy to see your beautiful face.
Good to see you too, man. So many times I wanted to get in touch with you, but I just couldn't get my act together enough to do anything. So here we are, man.
Yeah. No problem. You got to take care of yourself, and it's a rough journey that you've been on. Since what age? Remind the listeners. When did things start going south with drug use and stuff like that? What age were you? You don't need to tell the whole story, but how old were you?
Uh, the ripe old age of 12 years old, I think, or 12 or 13 is when I uh, first smoked some pot and got my first bag of methamphetamine. So it was a
Holy
love affair ever since.
smokes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's rough, man. And
Yeah. I came from a Catholic upstanding pillar of the community family, and well, I was adopted into that family as an infant. But yeah, so ever since then, and my family, they kind of turned a blind eye to it because I was talking with my mother on one of these holidays, and she was telling me about they did, they didn't want it to tarnish their reputation in town, so they just kind of were in denial of the whole thing. And when school teachers and stuff and junior high were calling, telling me I was selling drugs at school and stuff, they were not my boy. So that type
disavow,
of thing.
disavow.
Yeah.
That's rough, man. Wow. So, unfortunately, you mentioned that your father passed away. When did your father pass away exactly?
He passed away in April last year.
Okay. Any
Uh,
unusual circumstances, or it was just normal stuff?
well, he was morbidly obese, so he very the last 5 years he was pretty much stuck in the house and in his chair. He could only pretty much get up and walk and make it to his chair in the living room, and then make it to the bathroom. He could take care of that, but that's about it.
Wow, that's rough. Yeah. So,
He was in a
how old was he when he passed?
he was 77, I
Not
believe.
bad. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, he made it pretty. He outlived a lot of his friends who were not in the condition that he was, so that was kind of interesting. I think God was showing him some mercy, and he we had a bad relationship.
Yeah.
We were very close, kind of the black sheep, obviously, and then but the last few months of his life, I was able to. I was going and visiting him, and he was talking to me about. He'd tell me stories about his childhood and stuff, and we kind of bonded in that last few months prior to his death, and had a better relationship than we probably ever had. So it was pretty neat to be able to do that. So
Whoa, very
I got to see
cool.
him off, had to pray with them, and he was getting a little, he was kind of a nominal Catholic, I think, but I mean, we went to church every single Sunday and all that stuff, but we never talked about it at home. So I didn't really know where he really stood on it. And then when I became an on fire Protestant little Baptist boy, I would just argue with him about why Catholicism was wrong and that he needed to be born again and all that stuff all the time. We would just argue about it. And then, but toward the end, he was going to mass, doing the online, and he and my mom were Eucharistic ministers, so my mom could bring him the Eucharist,
Nice.
and so it's pretty neat. So he I don't know. I hope that he was in good standing, and uh, I hope to see him in heaven. But I think I will. I really do.
Hey, we got our friend Kieran in the live chat. He's saying, "Hey, yo."
My brother.
Our brother from another mother. So yeah, he's been looking out. When's Matthew coming back? When's Matthew coming back? And his brother Aiden also. You know
Uh,
his gay little brother Aiden, right?
yeah. So,
I'm kidding. He's the older brother. I'm just kidding. He's the older brother. Just bugging you, Aiden. Just bugging you. Just
still gay, but
Yeah, so we've been missing you. Everyone's been missing you, and when I say everyone, I mean me and the Lisney brothers and Nick Krisick and
Oh,
hey, holy cow, our friend Nick Stumphauser.
no way.
I just realized he's co-director, co-writer of Died Suddenly. I can't believe it. That's huge. Huge,
Really?
huge movie like in the sort of COVID community or whatever you want to call it, freedom fighters community. That's a huge, huge documentary film. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I knew that kid was going places. I knew it. You ain't gonna stop old
Have you
Stumphauser,
seen the
man.
film?
I have not, but I'm gonna write it down. What's it called?
I'll
Died
send you.
suddenly.
Yeah, I'll send you the
Yeah.
link.
Oh yeah.
It's about all the blood clotting mainly that we're starting to see in those who pass away ever since the vax rolled out. So
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
causation, who knows? But it's definitely disturbing, very disturbing. Have a barf bag handy when you watch the film, okay?
All right. Cool.
Yeah, man. The gang. What I've been saying is just the gang, the regulars on my podcast. They've been just wondering how you've been doing. They've been praying for you, obviously, and
Thank you.
wishing you well. And you look good, I have to say. You look very good. I was expecting like bags under your eyes and
I've been
shagging.
sleeping it off the last few days, but honestly, yeah, I'm not good at all, man.
No?
I'm running about 40 pounds light. I'm skin and bones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Usually I got those big, nice chubby cheeks. I'm trying to get them back, but a little bit of a beard instead.
Yeah, but in terms of the weight loss, is it anxiety, nervousness? What is it? Are you jittery?
Well, it was the drugs. You know, I was fighting it. I've been fighting it ever since the last time I was on. Whenever like that was around when I first started relapsing because I had a good chunk of sobriety there, about 9 years, and then went off the rails a little bit when I got divorced. I committed adultery with my wife. I did all sorts of things, horrible things, because but preceded that was, I was kind of losing my faith. I didn't know where to go. I didn't really believe in the Bible much anymore. And once I lost my footing there, it was just like the devil was able to really confuse me and send me off into the deep end, into some of that new age stuff, which just leads right to, it's pretty much just Satanism masked in a different way. It's just utter confusion, plausible arguments that are confusing, and just had my head spinning. And I fell into some real deep darkness. And then I was just kind of on my own out there, separated from the church, separated from my Christian brothers and sisters. And then I eventually just leads to, suicide and all of that stuff. I've had, and this last, about 2 weeks ago, I completely lost my grip on reality and had a public kind of suicide thing happen. I was completely out of my mind. It was the most terrifying experience I ever had. It's like the demons were just bringing me into hell, and I was in this weird kind of haunted house movie, and I was like screaming at people in Walmart, and I couldn't even put a sentence together, screaming and blubbering and howling. Those guys you see on the street howling and swatting at bats that aren't there, that was me. And God, I don't know. I was being tormented by those familiar demons that have been with me my whole life. And I can't explain how terrifying it was for me. And I thought, oh man, and God graciously brought me out of it somehow. I attempted suicide by, injecting some weird stuff directly into my arms, and it just kind of just destroyed my valve or whatever the system in my left arm is just completely pretty screwed up. And so I did not die, but I definitely should have, according to professional opinion. And I just know that's God being gracious to me. And I knew that maybe I had another shot to be in good standing with God and be back in the family. And then 10 days later, I have a needle in my arm again. So I said, I'm going to die. And I was trying to find help and not really getting any help in town. So then I got a number to this place, and they said, hey, why don't you give these guys a call? And I did, and they had me on a plane. And less than one day, they had me on a plane out here to this facility that I'm at right now in Las Vegas. And it saved my life, pulled me out of there and got me out of, so I'm about 8 hours away from home. So, jumping the fence and calling up my cronies is a lot more difficult when I'm this far away from home. So that's a good thing too. And just right off the bat, when I got here, I met some solid Christian guys, and they prayed for me. And
they're in rehab
kind of like another. Yeah. Or some of them are people who were in the program, but they come back and they kind of like,
okay, they
lead the little 12-step group type things. And a couple of them prayed for me, and all of them have the exact, like pretty much all said the exact same thing. So I think it's the Holy Spirit, God talking to me through these people saying that, it's the enemy telling me that it's all done, that God hates me and I'm going to hell, but it's just repent and follow God. And for me to come out here, because I had a high-paying job. I worked my way up. I became a journeyman, plumber, pipe fitter. So I had a badass apartment, nicest place I ever stayed. High-powered job, making tons of money. I had my daughter Nadia back living with me. But I mean, I was just, shooting street drugs for this last little run was just for a few months straight, just every day, and somehow pulling it off and maintaining my job. But for me to come out here, I had to make a decision. I lost everything. So now I'm homeless, penniless, jobless. And my sons are with my ex-wife, and my daughter's now with my mom again. So I had to come to that point where it's like when Jesus says you have to forsake everything that you have to be my disciple, or at least be willing to, I think. And I had to come to that point, because I'm like, well, who's going to take care of me? I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to do this and that, blah, 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 blah. And God, it's like, that's basically how a faithless person would act or think. So I'm just in God's hands. I had to let everything go, and that's where I'm at. I'm broke as a joke, and yeah. So
wow,
I just have to trust Him, man. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, unbelievable. You've always had the faith, but I know what it's like to have one foot in both camps, where you are willing to dance with the devil, like not to the same extent you have, obviously. Nicola Krisick says, brothers, peace of Christ to you both. Love heart emoji. Love you, Matthew. Continue the good fight. Smile face emoji. So you're getting lots of love here. And, I can sympathize with having, being of two minds, being weak, being a sinner, liking pleasure and wanting to escape reality, these sorts of things. It's just very, very obvious to me that that's what my heart's like. My heart is corrupted more than yours. It's just that you are strong, so you can inject all kinds of weird shit into your veins that I can't, or I'd be dead. I'd be dead, man. I'd be dead. But you're strong, so God's letting you dabble a little bit more in the hardcore stuff. Whereas if I have 2 cups of coffee, I'm pretty much dead. So.
yeah. I was at the end. Just it was like I was doing the amount of very dangerous drugs, probably kill a small village. like seriously, people are just like, it's almost like they don't believe it. But it's just like, this is what I was doing, and it's just God's mercy, man. And if He did it, he loves us, man. Like he seems like He just won't let me die.
Not yet.
So
that's why people shouldn't worry too much. People shouldn't worry too much. They should take care, but they shouldn't worry too much about like when I'm going to die, what's going to happen, what am I going to eat, and all these sorts of things. And you've got a big pair of kahunas there to take the leap of faith and to say, you know what, I'm putting God first, because that's sane and that's healthy. And if I don't, I'm going to kill myself and go to hell. So it's like, it's partly selfish, But the St. Augustine said intelligent self-love is exactly that, putting God first. It's putting God first and commending other people to God. He said that is the heart and soul of true religion. It's where you choose God and you tell other people to choose God. It's really simple, you know. So I'm proud of you, and I haven't lost a night's sleep yet over your eternal salvation, because I know you're a warrior, and I know you're suffering a lot and you're making really stupid decisions all the time, but who isn't? You know, it's just that your decisions are more exciting, or whatever you want to say. But you know, it's like it's all relative to each person's spectrum, and your constitutional intestinal fortitude is just, like you said, miraculous. It's nothing short of miraculous. And you're not the only one. I mean, we can read about people like you in the history books, and especially, you know, some of the Satanists, they really had a strong intestinal fortitude, and hopefully they converted too before they died. But you know, there's something to be said for the demons, and how God uses Satan and the demons to stretch people. And some people are really stretchy, like you're really stretchy. I'm rigid, like I'll just break. So God uses Satan and the demons to just sort of touch me a little bit, and just, you know, very, very gentle stuff. But with you, you're like Stretch Armstrong. Did you ever have that doll when you were a kid, like the really stretchy doll?
Yeah.
That's you. So very interesting. But yeah, we're all in the same camp. It would be tempting for you to say, to get either big-headed and proud about it, like, wow, you know, or to go the other way and say, well, I'm the worst sinner ever. And it's all, you just have to bear in mind, it's between you and God, and just pretend like no one else exists. It's just a big dance between you and God, and it's like he's just asking you time and time again, day in, day out, do you love me? Do you really love me? Do you really love me? Are you sure you love me? Hey,
Yeah.
remember me? Like, hey.
Yeah.
Peekaboo. And he's very gentle and kind when you come back to him. There's no chastisement. There's no rubbing your nose in the filth. Like he could make a really good PowerPoint slideshow of all your sins, right? And just walk you through it and pin your eyes open so you can't blink or turn away. And he doesn't do that.
No, that's what the devil does the whole time, is we're lured out by our own evil desires. We're lured out there by something like that. And the devil just kind of lures you off the path a little bit. And then once you're out there, like, will entice you to do the most horrible things that you would never do. And then as soon as you do it, he's like, exposes you. And then it's just shaming you and telling you, oh yeah, God's done with you. You think you're mine. You're mine. You're a piece of shit. You can never turn back to him. Don't even look up into the sky. Don't even do any of that stuff, you know, and it's all a lie. But it's really easy to believe, man. You know, it's it's dark. He's the truth. He uses what the devil says is absolutely true, but minus God's mercy and God's love for us, I think, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's humbling, very humbling. I'm proud of you. Everyone watching will know we're looking at a superstar here. You know, and it's not you, it's God. It's the fact that God's grace and mercy is just overflowing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So proud of you, brother. So.
Yeah. So good, man, to us. I can't believe it. Sometimes it's just what it comes down to. But you're right. He's just always there, gently leading you back. But now that I'm back, I am back, and it's amazing. And I don't have any questions about faith or anything. It's all so stupid. I see it was, you know. And then I had one real good Catholic brother I was trying to get on your show. He's kind of an odd duck, and he's just like, oh,
Ernie?
he agreed. No, now I wish the Ern dog would comment. Ernie's like too humble. He's like, well, what would I have to say? No one cares what I have to say. Put you on there, kid. But I'm like, no, Ernie, please go on there and just say hi. But he has a flip phone. He doesn't even know. He doesn't know. He doesn't like technology. He's just like, oh, internet thing. Oh no. But he's still been in my life. He calls me, tells me he loves me. He's just
no
like,
way.
Oh yeah. He's there. Ernie's there. He's my hero. He's like my dad in the faith. Like my I love him. I think he's a saint, man. I really do. And then I have my other brother. He's like a doctor, and he's like super smart. But he's just like, he's been my pull back to the Catholic Church because he just converted.
Oh no way.
Yeah, he just converted within this last year, and he's like he's going hardcore into it, and he's just like, and he's known me my whole life, and he's just someone like, he's like, Matt, because he knows, he says, you're dealing with the big dogs, and there's only one place you can go that has the power to shut those effing demons out and all that stuff. He said that's the church. That's the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's great. He's like he's the one that made sure I had my, like, just the other night I contacted him. He's like, well, where's your rosary? Where's this? Have you been reconciled to the church? The F are you doing? Like he gets on my ass. I'm just like, okay, I'm good, but it's great. It's like God's got me, and I've always got you and your the great talks we've had. I mean, I've never forgot any of that stuff, and I've carried everything with me, and I've gained a lot of wisdom from you through the Holy Spirit. And called me back to the church as well. And I really think, I think that I'd be okay. I know that I could be okay with God and still stay with, do Protestant things and everything like that, but I don't just want to be okay. I want to be in full. I want to just do whatever he wants me to do. And if it's submitting to the church, great. I think submission is freedom. I can see it now, because my wanting to manage everything is rebellion, and nothing ever goes right. And I'm so tired, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm doing it my way, and like just watching everything fall apart. It's like, all I have to do is give up. Like right now, just fuck it. I have no apartment. I have nothing. Just take it all. Take my car, my everything I've built in this world is just a castle of sand. It doesn't mean anything. And if I keep holding on to that, it's just it's so miserable. I'll just give up. Okay, it's on him now. It's on God. All I have to do is just do the next right thing, one step at a time. Just whatever the next right thing is. Just like, am I gonna lie about this little stupid thing, or am I gonna just tell the truth? One little step, or am I gonna take cuts in line in the little soup line that we go to, or just stupid shit like that? The next right thing. It's nothing glorious. It's just, and that's all I have to do. Just be led, right? I mean,
yeah.
And I'm taking active steps. I'm walking closer to God. And it says, if we draw near to him, he's drawing near to us. So
Aiden says, Aiden's in the chat. He says, what? He says, tell Matt I love him. So obviously he already know that, but Aiden is in the live chat now. So yeah, you got so much love. Everyone that lays eyes on you or listens to you falls in love with you. I mean, that's my experience anyway. I don't want to overgeneralize, but you've got a big heart, and do you do stupid things? Yeah, sure, but whatever. I mean,
really stupid.
We're on a journey, Matt. We're on a journey, and it's exciting. It's dangerous, and if someone doesn't realize that life is a dangerous and exciting journey, then they should tune in and listen to you on any of the episodes you've been on with me. They'll see that life is dangerous, it's an adventure, it's exciting, and you better wake the F up fast, because it's serious business, and there's a dark world awaiting those of us who love self unto contempt of God. We have to love God unto contempt of self, and those are the two options. Choose wisely, choose life. It's very simple.
Yeah. But it seems stupid almost. It seems like when you're in your flesh, it seems dumb. Like for me, I just was like, oh, I'm gonna just give up my livelihood that I made, and who's gonna take care of me? I'll be languishing out on the street, and I'll be dying homeless and starving. Blah 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 blah. No, dude, that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be destitute without God if I don't give all that stuff up. Like anything you put above your relationship with Him, you're going to lose it. So my kids and my wife, my this and that, none of that stuff matters without my relationship with God. It's like, and that's what Jesus said. It talks about, like, don't worry about what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat. It's like God takes care of the stupid crummy birds in the field. Like, they don't have to do anything. The dandelions are beautiful, and they don't have to worry about this and that. And it's just like, well, yeah, right. That's not how life really works, but it is how it really works, So it doesn't make sense to normal worldly people or how things work, but it's like, well, we're not part of that kingdom. We're part of a supernatural kingdom that has these weird like upside down rules and laws to it. Like God kind of flips everything up to his head, like the wise become fools, the fools become wise type of a thing. Like, it seems very foolish that I would just ditch all my everything and then come out to some place where I don't know where anything else is and just be destitute, but that's how it is, right? I mean, that's kind of the gospel, or you know, it just seems very backwards,
For
you know.
sure. Nicola Krisick says you need the bread of eternal life, the Eucharist, after confession.
Uh,
So, what's your plan with confession and the Eucharist to strengthen your soul?
well, my buddy, my friend Steve Dalton is his name, the one that I'm
Okay.
telling is really on my app. He's already looked up the diocese, the church, everything, the masses, the reconciliation. Like I got it all mapped out. Like I have to I say well, right now I'm on kind of detox bed rest phase of the program, so I'm kind of like stuck in here and I can't leave, which is good because if I left right now, I'd be on drugs in 5 minutes and be in Sin City with a couple of bucks in my pocket. And you would never see me again. Nobody would. So that's good. So I got to stay here for a couple of weeks, and then as soon as that's out, you can go. You're allowed to leave the property and go to like meetings or go to church and stuff. So I got it all mapped out to where I'm going to go and how far away it is, and I'll be I yearn for it, man. The sacraments, and to go there and to get reconciled with the church.
When's the last time
So,
you were in confession? I know you've gone, and I know you told me about the priest, or I think there was an East Indian
oh yeah,
priest or something like that.
yeah,
What was the
yeah.
very last time you went, and like how long ago was that?
Geez, it's probably been well at my dad's funeral, and it was at the church and stuff. So I took the Eucharist then. So that was in April. So that's probably the last time I've been in confession. It's been probably a month or so before that. So it's
Okay.
been almost a year, over a year.
Okay. Okay. That's not that long. I mean, you can't
Yeah,
have
I've
that.
done a lot
You,
in between here and there, but I mean, I'll tell you too, because I don't care about my stupid reputation anymore. You know, I did some horrible things, and if the fans want to grab their barf bags, they'll tell you everything about it if you want to know, but not to glorify the sin, but to
yeah.
be humble. Show you guys, I'm not. I can't try to lie to protect my image. I can't do anything. So this is online. I don't care if anyone sees it, but I've broken pretty much every commandment for sure. Broken. It's been horrible. Yeah. So I mean, I need the confession, but I just hope. But I have prayed to God and I confess to Him in that way. But there's a difference. I remember when Father Tom, that Indian guy, told me, he's like, Jesus Christ is right here, and by His authority, I tell you, you're forgiven. Like there was so much power in that. There, I know it, and I miss it, and I really need it. And something would always just come up and be more important on a Saturday. Like, I'm going to go to confession. I really need to go to confession. And it's like, oh, whatever had happened. And I just wouldn't go. And then another week and another month. And now years gone by. It's just, I'm going for it as soon as I can.
Yeah. Well, just know that the church teaches that your Protestant style confession to God does matter. It does count, provided you have the intention to go to confession, a sacramental confession, as soon as you can. So it's like that's where you're at right now. You're broken and you're humbled, and that's why God let you sin like a maniac, because He knows it would break your heart. He knew it would break you, break your
Yeah.
ego, your pride. Like, that's just like, okay, you want to play, go play. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's
Ah.
all of it goes back to is pride, spiritual pride. It's such an evil thing, and it's such a backdoor way for the enemy to get you completely away from God. And that's why God hates it. I think it's the number one thing that'll keep you from heaven is pride.
Yeah.
And it's many different forms. It's
Subtle.
spiritual pride. Oh, look at me. So yeah. So I have the plan, and I'm sure that I bet the church I bet it's awesome. I don't know anything about it, but I'm sure that there's in such a wicked place as this, that there's going to be that this church is just a powerhouse out here.
Yeah, I've been to Mass in Vegas, actually. I've been to Mass in Vegas.
You have?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you came out. You. Oh, what was that? What happened there? When was this?
oh, it was a horrible. The mass was good, but the Vegas in general, I was just like, I was fresh off my conversion. It was like in 2010 or something. I had converted into 2009, and I'm just walking around. It's like prostitutes, half dressed, handing me little business cards and stuff. And I'm with my wife. They're not shy, right? They're
Oh
just
yeah,
like I'm with my
yeah.
wife, and they're handing me a card. So
Bring her too.
that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was seeing the actual like naked women dancing in the casinos. Like, I mean, I didn't go out of my way to see that. It was like in the friggin' right there, like as a little teaser show to entice you into more. I don't know what, but you know, I'm not into drugs or anything, but I'm kind of like weak when it comes to guarding my eyes when sexy women just walk around in the streets, much less if they're naked, like dancing in front of me. So that was rough.
Yeah.
That was depressing, being there. My wife just still complains to this day how miserable I was the whole time we were there. And she liked the lights and she liked everything. And she could just ignore the prostitutes. She doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah. They have, and that's yeah, it's really bad, dude. Really bad.
Reno's not like that.
Huh?
You're from Reno?
Yeah. Reno's like the dirty little horse sister of Las Vegas. It's like a miniature Vegas. So it's like
Wannabe Vegas.
like going to a park or going to Disneyland. The difference between that miniature replica of Las Vegas. So we have illegal prostitution. We have, you know, the casinos and the 24-hour stuff. I mean, it's getting way uglier by the minute. It's like 1,000 times uglier than it was when I was like in my 20s going out to the clubs in Reno and stuff. Like now it's like it's really, really bad. I was out there a little bit doing some disgusting things just a little while ago, and it's just like it is. I mean, it's as bad as it could be. Well, I guess it could always be worse, but I mean, it's like any disgusting sin you want to get involved with is right there too, and like on billboards and stuff like that. So it is pretty tough, but still Vegas way worse.
Yeah, bigger and worse.
You
Yeah.
know, but,
Nicola says you should use the Saint Michael prayer daily. It's a very powerful prayer. I agree. I do pray two prayers to Saint Michael every day.
let me write it down.
Saint Michael prayer.
Okay, I'll look it up. Saint Michael. Thank you for suggesting that, brother. Okay,
You
Saint
remember?
Michael prayer.
You remember Nicola, right?
I do. Yeah, I sure do. I remember all you guys. I love you guys. We're like a family, like the Lisney brothers and us. And I mean, I never forgot you guys. And like, we only met like online, but you guys have shaped my life. And I've thought about all of you, and I love you. I mean, doesn't matter how much time has gone by. It's the same thing. I definitely love you. And your guys' prayers, honestly, are probably what's kept me alive. Honestly, the prayers of the saints do something. You know, they're efficacious in that. I know that they are, and it's like I know that's why I'm probably still alive, and why the bullet flew right by my head. You know?
Well, it went in your eye and scrambled your brain and came out your ear, but somehow it's like you still look pretty good.
Right out.
You're a cartoon character, man. Come on.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's my brothers and sisters praying for me. It has to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I thank God thank God for the people who sent you out here, and I don't know how you're going to repay them. I guess repay them with by paying it forward. But you have to remember also the holy souls in purgatory that are suffering. They can't pray for themselves, but they can pray for you, and you can pray for them. And I don't know how strongly you believe in that, but it's very, very powerful. Like they're just there. It's just like this huge warehouse of grace that's just ready. All you have to do is ask. So you pray for them and you ask for them to pray for you. And it's a wonderful exchange.
Yeah.
So yeah, tap into that. Tap into the purgatory.
I don't know much about it, but that sounds amazing. And I will definitely do that. You know, I'm very ignorant about all the awesome things we have available to us, and that we can help those people get out. And my dad might be there,
possibly.
You know, 'cause he was pretty carnal in his the way how we would talk and stuff, and it, you know. But I think toward the end, it seems like he was repenting a little bit. I hope.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't worry about that. I mean, God only knows, but let's just give him the benefit of the doubt, because that's what we're obliged to do. We have to give the benefit of the doubt, not because your dad is a superhero, but because God is amazing. And Aiden actually is going to do a nice gesture for you. He's going to send you. You can privately send him your address, a mailing address. He's going to send you a rosary. He actually makes rosaries. You
Oh,
already have
wow.
one. You have one, but it would be nice to have one from your brother there.
Oh, I'll cry right when I see it, man. Honestly, I'm just
Very
an
nice.
emotional mess, so I cry a lot. I'm sorry.
Mess on
Oh,
Mesk. Have you
I'm
heard
not really
that before?
sorry. What's that?
Mess on Mesk.
Mm-mm.
That's the saying they use here in Montreal when people are all messed up on mescaline.
Oh,
Mess on Mesk.
and mess up. Yeah, definitely.
Did you do mescaline?
No, I never really. I never came across it, but I would have if I had, for sure.
Probably, yeah.
And the thing I had my sights on was that DMT. That was like the only thing I
Demonic.
never tried. And I was gonna go for it because it's all over now. But I'm glad I didn't, because oh man, my mind is just
Scrambled.
it's fragile right now, man. But I honestly didn't think I'd come back from that mental break thing. It was so scary, man. It's like just like living in the nightmare, and you cannot get out. I couldn't escape. I couldn't use my phone because I couldn't make the word. I couldn't put a sentence together. But I'm trying to scream. All I did was doing was howling, screaming, "Help me, help me!" I like was in a Walmart parking lot, driving around, tearing my car apart like a madman. When I see people, I just jump out and just, I guess, just screaming, "Help, help, help," and begging them to help me. But they're just like, "Are you okay, buddy?" You know, and I can't believe the cops didn't come, and I somehow made it back to my apartment. And I was in I don't know if you ever watched any of the horror movies, like haunted housey thing. Like, I couldn't get out. I was trapped there, and that was the only way out was to blow my brains out. Is what I was being told, you know, in my head. So only one way out of here. Like I try and run down this hallway, and it would just unfold into infinity. I can't get out of there. I have my phone in my hand, and like I'm trying to text message anybody just to hear a voice, someone to talk to me. But I'd push like an H, and it'd be like a Z. Like I couldn't get out of it. Like it was just, you know, and then try to get to the door, but it would be the wrong thing, and it's locked, and I can't get out. I was just trapped there forever and ever and ever and ever to live like that, just screaming and howling. And somehow, after a while of that, someone got through. I got through to somebody, and then they like FaceTimed me, and then I got to just see another human being's face, and they saw me, and I saw them, and it kind of broke the spell a little bit, and I knew that I wasn't dead. I wasn't stuck there forever, and you know, and that was just God's mercy reaching through to me. I mean, I was fully insane. I've lost my mind like on drugs before, like drug-induced psychosis, but this was something. It was not that. It was different. It's like I've never experienced that much terror or just inability to even talk or do anything. It was so crazy.
My friend and yours, Robert Reinhardt, he's one of our family here. He just said a prayer for you. He was touched by your story, and he said he's happy he doesn't live in Vegas. Sounds like a nightmare, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter where you are. It's just, do you love God? Are you susceptible to temptation? And what's it going to take for Satan to lure you away? And for some of us, it doesn't take much.
The internet.
Oh
you
yeah.
got the internet.
Oh yeah. It's everywhere.
And I didn't really know, because I was never really a pornography guy. But of course, in using that, I was just getting into really disgusting pornography and all of that stuff. And like, yeah, I mean, you have that at your fingertips no matter where you are.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Well,
that's enough to draw you in and completely ruin you.
Robert Reinhardt was saying about how he's got a solid group of friends since childhood. That really helps keep him focused. And it's true. I mean, it is true. Your story there about just wanting to have human contact so that you can break the spell of Satan and his demons. It's so basic, but it's so powerful, because you know, we're supposed to see Christ in our brothers and in our neighbors. And no matter how downtrodden or how messed up they are, we're supposed to see Christ in that person. And we're made in the image and likeness of God. And it's an antidote. It is a powerful antidote. Now, it doesn't mean that some people aren't going to hell. It doesn't mean that some people don't want to help Satan bring your soul to hell, but to reach out to a friend, it's you're living proof that that is powerful. It's amazing.
Oh, I know that. I know that we cannot make it on our own. We need the body.
Yeah.
Like we were made to be in community with the saints and with brothers and sisters in Christ and all that stuff. Like, because I got so isolated from everybody, and people are, it's like you said, God saying, "Hello, here I am." Like people just come out of the woodwork, and I just hang up. They'd call and I just hang up their call, or they would text and I just leave them on red for weeks and stuff. But it's like, I know that if I separate myself from the flock, I'm, those are the ones that the wolves will pick off, is the weak, stupid ones that wander away from the herd. Those are the ones that get eaten, and we cannot make it without each other. I know that for a fact now. I need you guys. You need me. We need each other. That's what we were made for. That's why we have the body.
Absolutely. We think about the sheep scattered without a shepherd and these sorts of images that are used in the Old Testament and then in the New, and it's just like so clear. It's so clear. It's so palpable for you, having gone through what you're going through. Hopefully that's the last chapter of the adventures of Matthew Murdock in hell. Has to be.
Oh, it has to
be the final chapter, because it's I was reading Alphonsus Liguori, one of my favorite saints, and he said to remind yourself that the mercy of God is the scariest thing. It's not Satan, it's not sin, it's the mercy of God that's the scariest thing, because you don't know if it's the last time he's going to offer you that olive branch. And that's humbling, that's sobering. You don't know. You've got a certain number, and you're like, you just cashed in again, buddy. You just cashed in again. Possibly for the last time. For the last time. Whichever way you go from here, it might be the last time. So if you stay in God's good graces, it was still the last time. But if you fall and then, whoops, you can't come back because you used up all your graces. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. So be afraid, be very afraid of God's mercy, because for your benefit, he's going to put a limit on the amount of grace that he's going to give you, because he knows that your eternal hell will be worse if he does extend more grace to you. So it just cuts you off and then you're done. And that's a mercy too, because that means your hell won't be quite as bad. But while we still have the choice, let's firmly resolve, you and I and everyone listening, to never sin again. Venial sin, mortal sin, doesn't matter, because we don't know how much grace we have allotted to us.
Yeah.
Sobering, very sobering.
Send me, if you would, and
I'll send you some references to that.
Yeah, send me some references to that and to anything else, to any of the prayers, anything you think I have time here, and this is the time that God's given me, like a little incubator over here to get in touch with him and to start to make this a practice of my life. My lifestyle needs to be surrounded with these prayers and with all this stuff, because I really need it right now. And this is, I'd appreciate it. And I'll send out my address and all of that stuff. But my phone number is probably still the same as it's been the same for a year.
Okay.
But we'll get all that figured out too, so I can keep in touch with everybody.
I was thinking, I don't know how Catholic this is, but I was just thinking on a psychological level, if you could make a little drawing or a painting or something, it doesn't have to be good, but just represents the darkest dark that you experience and your role in that nightmare, so that you don't forget. And so this was real. This hellish nightmare was real. Here's like a drawing I made when I was in rehab. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a good drawing or artistic or whatever. It's just like the blackness of your experience with a couple of little key things in it that remind you that, yes, that was real. And you were that close to being dragged right down into the pit of hell. I don't know if you want to do that, if it's too heavy right now, but it's an idea. What I'm afraid of is that you'll lose sight of the reality of the darkness that's within you, and the grip that the demons had on you, because
it does happen. I think that's what happened the first time. Cause I went through some stuff. You remember my story from hey, and after you can get complacent or start thinking like I was doing good because I I did it. Like King. I feel, and I also kind of think of like Nebuchadnezzar,
mm,
how he was like overlooking his kingdom, like, look at this kingdom that I've built. I did this, I did that, and then God turned him into a beast. And he was out like eating grass, and his fingernails grew out like claws, and his hair was like feathers. Like he was the homeless guy that you see digging in the trash, talking to people who aren't there, and swatting at invisible bats. He turned him into that guy for 6 years, and then restored his kingdom. And that was to teach him. God was showing him, this is what you are without me, buddy. Just this disgusting beast out in the field, a madman. And yeah, so I definitely have to fight against that, because 5 years from now, 10 years from now, however long God has me to live, that's a long time to forget. So no, that's great. That's a great idea. I'll definitely do that.
whatever it takes to not forget, and I'll remind you from time to
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
If you start getting proud, like, look at me, all Christian and Catholic and da da da.
Super judgmental. Like everything that I judged everyone else about when I was doing good, like adultery, even homosexuality, licentiousness, all of those things. Like I ended up getting into all of that stuff, just the most disgusting stuff, and I was so proud, and I just loved, I relished coming into contact with people like that. That means I didn't love those people. I was judging them. I was just like, oh, what a piece of shit. Like I would never do that. I've never blah blah blah. Like, but then just being drugged through all of that stuff, and then coming out the other end, just like, I'm a total piece of shit, and God loves me. Like it to just crush that pride took a lot. And yeah, so I went through it all, dude, and it worked.
Well, I always
So now when I see those guys, and I'm in the some of those people are even in this program, people who have destroyed their mind from drugs, and they're just whatever, or and there's all of that. So now I get to be the guy. I think my ministry, God's made it very clear, my ministry is going to be to be with those people the rest of my life, and pulling them out of the pit. That's it. Being a part of Him pulling them out of the pit. Just being that one of the little links in the chain that's pulling them out, and that's great. It's not a glorious thing. It's not something that's going to be televised and big. It's like I'm going to be in the trenches, and that's where I want to be, because I was also kind of shanghaied out in this little town like a few weeks ago, like because my friends were trying to help me, so they kind of just left me at some working ranch for it's like a Christian type of program, working ranch. I only made it like 3 days because I was just dying out there, and I'm still trying to manage everything. And I'm like, oh, I got to get back and take care of Nadia, my car, my this, my that. But anyways, I wound up just like stranded out in this little podunk hick town, and it was terrible. It was like 13 degrees. I didn't have appropriate clothing, and I'm just freezing in front of Walmart. I have no phone, no nothing. And I just was sitting out in front of Walmart, just crying, bawling, just destroyed. And 1,000 people walked right by me. They're doing, it was right by little is however close to Christmas time, so everyone's just going doing their Christmas shopping. They see some broke down asshole on the side of the thing, just walk about, don't look at him, and just that loneliness that I felt. And I'm reading Lamentations out there in front of the store, and it's just Lamentations, just like, look at all your enemies, how they shake their head at you, and there's no one to stop for Israel to give compassion. And that was me. And there's only a few people that stopped and talked to me. You know who they were? They were God's people. They were Christian people. They're the only people. But there's probably out of the 1,000 that walked by, and I was probably there for 4 or 5 hours, and it was a very busy little Walmart for a small town. But maybe 3 or 4 out of 1,000 Christians. And I think that's probably about the ratio that we have on this earth of God's people, and they were the only people that cared. And that kind of taught me a lesson too. And it also taught me a lesson, like, never, ever walk by that guy again. Because I know I could get busy in a couple of years, have a new family, maybe God, if He blesses me that way. But I mean, I have no expectation of that. But if He does, and me being busy with my Christmas shopping and all my bullshit, and just, it'd be real easy just to walk by that weirdo that's over there, obviously just struggling and dying, and just in deep depression and sorrow, and just like, well, shit, I got I got stuff to do. I got to get this, got to get that. Blah, blah, blah. I don't have time to talk to this. Yeah, it's like I'm never allowed to walk by that guy again. I'm going to stop and show him some of the love of Christ and love of God. But even just by like, hey man, are you okay? Hey, you need a sandwich? Hey, or what? Or just acknowledging them, because it was so odd just being the invisible man there. And I was just like, this is bullshit, you know? And in that little hick town, it was like, they have all this Christian stuff all over, like like you drive down the main strip of the town, and it's just like Jesus saves and Jesus this, Jesus that. It's like an old school thing like that. And it's just like, I was just like, where's Jesus here, man? Like I could pretty much have just like slit my throat and bled out right there. And like, they probably just would have put like a, you know, just been stepping right over me, you know? I was like, this just shows how cold the world really is. And just showed me that I got to be there for those guys.
Can you see the link I just sent you?
Yeah, it just popped up.
Can you follow the link and then read the poem aloud?
Wow. I don't know how I'm going to do that, buddy. That's not like flash up as a banner, but I think if oh crap, it's almost noon. I have to go to my thing right now.
Oh, you do? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Next time we talk, we'll take a look at this poem that I sent you. It's a poem about Jesus.
Oh, did you send it to the email? To my email?
I'll send it to your email right now. So go do your thing, and you got a lot of time in your hands, right? So we'll talk again soon, right?
Yeah, I do. And usually I get off at so I'm going to be actually starting the program tomorrow, because they're giving me some time to detox and stuff, and I am getting a lot better, so I'll be able to do that. And yeah, I'll have time. I get off at like 4 every day, and I know that's probably around 7 your time or something. And
we'll do it again. We'll do it again, and we'll get the Lisney brothers on. We'll do it a little kumbaya, man.
Oh, that'd be so great, man. I love you all, and thank you, David. Thank you for your prayers. You guys mean so much to me, and I just love you so much. I'm so glad to still have you guys and be able to do this, man, because I just felt so alienated and cut off. But I know that was just a bunch of bullshit, and I don't ever have to go there again. I don't ever have to do it again.
Good.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you so much. I thank God for you and your example, and of the good stuff, and your repentance, your humility, and love you very much. And a lot of people are going to be praying for you. Okay, my brother?
Thank you, dude. Love you, man.
We'll talk soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.